Hi. So, a couple of summers ago, my mom went away to teach at a yoga retreat for 2 weeks, which was a really long time for 8-year-old me. About halfway through, she sent me a card with a note inside. And I don't really remember what the note said, but I do remember what was on the outside. The front of the card she sent, which she found in the yoga retreat library, read Ralph Waldo Emerson's words: silly, honest, kind. They've become a staple in our house, a mantra, in fact. Words to live by, my mom says. Oftentimes, when I'm dealing with a problem, I'll resort to my mom for help. And somehow her advice always loops back to those three words and her saying, "Do what you think is right, Abby. Just keep this in mind. Be silly, be honest, and most important of all, be kind." I've taken those words to heart. People are constantly saying beautiful yet confusing phrases that instruct you on how to live. Phrases such as, "life begins at the end of your comfort zone," Neil Donald Walsh, and "be who you are, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind," Bernard Baruch. While both are inspiring, in a way they contradict each other. The one preaches that to be fulfilled in life you must adventure, while the other says not to listen to what other people say you have to be in life, but to be you. So if that means staying in your comfort zone, then so be it. I think that instructional phrases are nice to think about and ponder, but the people who wrote them, first of all, had completely different life experiences than you or anyone else. And second, if they were writing that, they obviously weren't done with life yet. They were still experiencing and learning. So instead, I choose to stick to the words of one man, knowing full well that he might have meant them differently, and apply them how I see fit. To implement something in your life, you want to understand it on a deeper level. So I'm trying to figure out how being silly, honest, kind is applicable to my life. It's pretty clear, as you can see, I'm silly. Silly is fun, silly is smiling, silly is enjoying life. Silly is easy. Honest is clear. I perceive honesty as different than simply not lying, which again may contradict Emerson's original meaning, but that doesn't matter because it's my life. My not so traditional take is that honesty is being clear and truthful in one's actions, having transparent motives. Kind, on the other hand, is the most difficult of them all. There are so many synonyms of kind, yet none of them seem to encompass all of what it is. For me, figuring out kindness starts with understanding pain. The way I see it, pain is the root of our struggles. It's something we all endure. While we all experience different pains and struggles, we know what it feels like to hurt. I found this love blog with a rather corny name, and it's definitely not the most credible of sources, but the simplistic way the author conveys their message is really interesting, so I'm going to share. They write that they think the most important characteristic anyone can have in life is empathy. Being sympathetic is something that can be taught, but to be genuinely empathetic is predicated on how you were raised early on. I never understood the difference. Hell, I never understood empathy or the legitimacy of either until I was able to look at myself in a different way. I say that I am empathetic because I feel the emotions of other people. When there's a hailstorm, sometimes I think about the animals that are outside, the stray dogs and cats, the squirrels and rabbits that are stuck outside. When someone passes away, even if I don't know them, a dark cloud comes over me as if I was their brother or best friend. One thing that having empathy has taught me is that everyone has their own baggage, you included. Everyone has something they want to change, they wish were different, that is holding them back from a different life. I don't get the purpose of judging people. It just never made sense to me to make assumptions and bring someone down even though you know that they have their own baggage as well. You have to be grateful for your life and understand what you have. They conclude with, everyone has their own stuff to deal with. You, me, your neighbor, your friend, your boss, your colleague, everyone has stuff. I cut some parts out because it got a little funky towards the end, but overall I really resonate with what they were saying, and I've decided that this is the kind of kindness that I would like to prescribe to. Understanding that everyone has stuff is a crucial step because it's a reminder that even your enemies, your arch nemesis, are struggling with something in their own right. My stuff is really difficult for me, and a large part of that is my parents getting divorced. Someone who sees me in school or somewhere else might not know that I have that's my stuff, but it's something that I have to deal with. For me, it's a reminder that most people's stuff goes on behind closed doors. There's this really pretty poem, and it goes, "Let me hold the door for you. I may never have walked in your shoes, but I can see your soles are worn. Your strength is torn under the weight of a story I've never lived before. Let me hold the door for you. After all you've walked through, it's the least that I can do." I'm really glad that I was introduced to Emerson's words. He was actually a UU, which just makes it cooler. But silly, honest, kind, as well as the poem I just read, are two things that really taught me that kindness makes other people's lives easier. That's the truest motivation behind it. I encourage anyone who doesn't have one to find an instructional how to live phrase, hold it to your own life, because it's kind of fun. It feels like it's your own. But even more important than that, I think we need to include kindness in its truest form, just making other people's lives easier. Just include that more in our lives. Thank you.